Alright, so on 9.5, it's asking us to find the cosecant of x, find the average rate of change from pi over 6 to 5 pi over 6. So this is number 5, level 9 on page 12. So, Jonathan, what's the formula for average rate of change? Okay. Abraham, what is x1 and what is x2 in this question? And how did you know that 5 pi over 6 was x2? Like, why isn't that x1? But I could have had, but if I had done small to big, I just would have had a negative number here. Is that wrong? So let's return to the earlier question. If you admit that you don't have to have a negative number here, why does this have to be x2? I can't hear you. I agree with you. Well, why couldn't I have done pi over 6 minus 5 pi over 6? I'm trying to find a change from the end to the start. That is true. That is true. Josue, add more. Does it have to be this way, or could I have written it the other way? Both? Right. So it doesn't matter which one is x1 and which one is x2. That's the point we wanted to get across here. It does not really matter. If you prefer to have the positive one, to have the bigger one as x2, that is totally fine, but it is totally immaterial which is which. Alright. Abel, can you simplify the bottom for us? Okay. Okay. Very good. Suddenly, how can you simplify the bottom a little more? Is there 2 pi things? What does that mean? Subtract 2 pi? Or add 2 pi? Giselle?
I guess the x1 is 2 into like 2 something like 6. So that's going to be 2 pi over 6.
Right, yeah. So they both can be divisible. They're both divisible by 2. How do I find y2 and y1? Omar, how do I find y2 and y1? So I will look at the unit circle, but what is y2? What is y2? Omar, yeah? That's fine. You don't need the unit circle to begin with. Like, what's this, what are we evaluating with y2? What are we going to use the unit circle to do? Why do you need the unit circle? Let me ask it a different way. Like, what comes even before going to the unit circle? How do you even know what to look up on the unit circle? What do you think, Omar? How do I know what to even look up? Like, you're right, we will need the unit circle, but how do I even know what to even look at on the circle? What am I trying to find? Bless you. Not sure. Brianna, what am I trying to find? Cosecant of what, Brianna? One more time?
2 pi over 3.
But not 2 pi over 3. No. Cosecant of what, Anthony? What? 5 pi over 6. You want y2. Y2 is cosecant of 5 pi over 6, because 5 pi over 6 is x2. Minus, so now What's going to come here, Omar? Next?
Oh, cosecant of pi over 6.
Yes. Alright.
Bless you.
Bless you, bless you, bless you. Brandon Mejia, what is another way to write cosecant?
1 over sine.
Very good. So CSC is the same as 1 over sine. So now we can rewrite this as 1 over sine 5 pi over 6 minus 1 over sine pi over 6 all divided by, bless you, 2 pi over 3. Now, Edgar, what is sine of 5 pi over 6? Okay.
Yeah, 1/2.
1/2. Now, on the exam, we are not going to have the unit circle there in front of you. Yeah, I mean, I guess if everybody knows the unit circle, that's great. My prediction is a lot of us haven't memorized the unit circle. It is a bit easier to construct it in the following way. Look, very few people know the unit circle just like this. Very few people, you can just say, what is sine of 5 pi over 6, and they'll spit out 1/2. There are very few people in that position. Most of us are in this position, where we're like, I really don't know what the sine of pi over 6 is. All I know is that, look, the unit circle goes through this point 1, 0. It goes through this point 0, 1. It goes through this point -1, 0. And it goes through this point 0, -1. Most of us know this. And then if you ask me where is 5 pi over 6, I'm like, okay, 5 pi over 6 is here in quadrant 3. Quadrant 2. And then I ask myself, well, it is right here, very close to this angle. So what comes right before -1? That'll be -√3 over 2. And what comes before 0? That is 1/2. And then when someone says, what is the sine of 5 pi over 6? Then I can answer 1/2. Davila, have a good week. Have a good day. So 1/2. Sine is 1/2. Are there any questions on this logic? This is the logic you'll need to use. Okay. So, what is sine of pi over 6, Leslie? One half or square root of 3 over 2? You sure? Okay. Yeah, 1/2 is right. George, what is the numerator of this fraction equal? 1 over 1/2 minus 1 over 1/2.
0.
Okay. And Eddie, what is 0 divided by 2 pi over 3 equal? 0? Not undefined? I always thought when 0 is in the fraction, it's undefined. It's undefined? Cynthia, it's undefined? Marked here? 0? I'm forgetting.
A smart person that's going to law school told me that if
It's 0, it's 0.
the denominator, it will be undefined.
Right. So this is this equals 0, and again, there's logic behind it. And again, if you get confused, and again, like My job is to like push your thinking, right? If you get confused, just remember this: if I have $0 and I got to give it to 5 people, each person gets $0. But if I have $5 and I have to give it to 0 people, that's not possible. It's not possible to give $5 to 0 people. This is undefined. This is 0. Don't ever forget that. So the answer to this is 0. Questions? All right, let's make it happen. Then do number 6 right below it on your own.
Yeah, we got it.
No?